Hey everybody, welcome to another Reaper blog tutorial. Reaper 5.29 is out now, and there's a lot of great updates. First, a correction. In my last video in this series, I spent some time showing off a JS plugin that was actually not part of the updates. I was talking about the real FFT that I saw in the changelog, but it was actually a function for JSFX to use, not an actual JS effect that is ready to use. So JSFX developers can use real FFT function. What I showed was totally irrelevant, and I'm sorry, I just couldn't find the information I needed before I made that video. So in Reaper 5.29, let's start off with the development IDE changes. IDE means Integrated Development Editor. I think that's what it's called. So anyways, it's the editor that comes up when you click on Edit for a JS effect, click on Edit for a script, or you open up the video processor. So first, let's add the video processor to a track. You can see that different functions are colored now, so it's a little easier to see things. Highlighting the known API functions and variables. So we've got the yellow, the green, a lot of different colors in the editors now. It's also in the JS effect editors, like this. And we can actually edit these colors based on our own preferences. So I have a shortcut for the theme tweaker and configuration window, but you can also find this through the action list if you just type in theme. And it's this one here, show theme tweak configuration window. So that gives us this window, and in here, down at the bottom, the non-theme ReaScript JSFX video IDE, and there's all these different colors. One thing that we could easily change just for the demo is the top line background. We can just change this to whatever. We can change it to yellow, and it's got this yellow bar at the top now. And you can easily change it back to whatever. One important detail and one reason you might want to hold off on customizing this too much right now is that these settings aren't saved with the theme. They're actually saved with your Reaper INI file. If you want to change these and then want to change back, you might run into a problem. And to fix it, you're looking at reaper.ini file. You open it with a text editor, a plain text editor. What you're looking for is the IDE colors. For me, that's line 871. If you've made some edits to your IDE colors that you don't like, you can go into this file on line 871. You can enter a new number or clear it completely, and it will reset it to default next time you launch Reaper. So if you want to hold off on changing these colors, I know that they are changing that particular behavior. So let's move on from that and actually look at some of the other changes to the development IDEs. There's a function so that we can see what variables there are. You can use Ctrl+K on PC or Command+K on the Mac. So you just put your cursor where there's a function, press Command+K, and on the bottom bar it shows some information about that function. So if you have both hands on the keyboard, you could do that. You could also right-click on a function, and the same thing happens. If you're not on a known function, it's just going to say, use this on a valid symbol name. And if you make a selection and use that peek function, it will try to actually do the math on it. So just to recap of the development functions, there is colors, highlighting of the known variables, the peek function. The information here at the bottom, when you peek on a function, is the same as the help window. So it's this text showing up there at the bottom. Something that was recently added was some special variables to use the project time, the project tempo, and things like that inside the video processor. Right now, there aren't any examples of that being used. I'm not sure how to use it. As always, updates like this open up possibilities for creative people to make stuff happen. So I could see that being useful for variables that you want to change based on bars and beats. With a video effect, that could be really cool. I'll have to try this out for myself, and hopefully some other people on the forum or in the community figure that out and share the results. They fixed some flicker issues with using video processor on the monitoring effects. They also fixed a bug with render frame timing, where some frames were duplicated, some were omitted. Rendering should be more accurate now. Let's look at the new plugin that was added in this version. It's a audio analysis plugin, gain reduction scope. And there is a trick to using this. So I will definitely go into more detail. I'll probably do a part 3 of my audio analysis series. There'll be links to part 1 and 2 in the description. And for now, I'll just show you briefly how this works. This plugin shows gain reduction by comparing the differences between inputs 1 and 2 versus inputs 3 and 4. We need to make this a 4-channel track, just like that. Now in ReEQ, easiest way to do this is just copy the output of ReEQ into outputs 3 and 4, just like that. So ReEQ goes before the gain reduction plugin. We also need some sort of compressor. So recomp is easy choice there. So we just need some sounds. Right now we're not seeing anything on this. Change the ratio to 2:1. Change the threshold. And right now, because the output of recomp is lower than the input volume, we're seeing it above the center line. Let's make this attack and release really drastic. Turn on auto makeup. Slow down that at release time. So now we're seeing how recomp is affecting the signal, where it's following the signal, things like that. As I said earlier, I'll go into more detail with this. I already had a request for analyzing compressors, demonstrating the attack and release times and things like that. This tool came at the perfect time. Quick little fix that they did in the mixer. So if you have some tracks here and these tracks are in a folder like that, and then you collapse the folder, there used to be a bug where if you double click to add a new track, it would put it inside the folder instead of outside the folder. So now that's fixed, and it's super easy to make folders, collapse them, make new tracks, and not have to drag the last track out of the folder. So really simple thing, but kind of an annoying bug for a while. There's a new script to display lyrics that are inside MIDI files. So if we just type in lyrics, script, and there's no lyrics in here yet. Make a new MIDI file, change the view to musical notation, right click, lyrics, got this little window, type in hey, and now there will be lyrics displayed here. This window can stay open and we can add in whatever we want. As it plays back, it will go to the next lyric. And there's some adjustments for size and things like that in here. You can use mouse wheel on this script viewer. Not too exciting, but I can see this being pretty useful for some people. And that's it for what's new in Reaper 5.29. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Support the Reaper blog through Patreon. And please visit reaperblog.net for a lot more tutorials.